Ooh, I need some respectable sissies after that bad boy's debacle. Let's get to Kandi and the girls. So we open with cousin Patrick, who runs the OLG parking lot. They need somebody to run the parking lot. You just can't have valet. He's the valet. He's the head valet. He's running the parking lot. Y'all got that many cars? Sounds very needy to me. $10 for parking? Kandi Burris, you ain't fecal matter. It should be Kandi's fleecing factory. Now we got Melvin, his cousin brother, who's the head chef. Todd, you keep being hard on him. You ain't gonna have no staff to be hard on. So Dom the dancer is on the date with the restaurant assistant manager. They seem to be getting on well. Girl, you want to dance for Beyonce? I don't know. She real cheap. The next day, Chandrika drops by Torin's apartment. This heifer said she don't eat vegetables. What do you smell like? That's scary if you don't eat vegetables. Those poops must be hard and tight. And Dom drops by as well. So the girls want to know how he feels about Philip, and he's like, child, I don't work for Philip, I work for Kandi. That's y'all's problem. But then all talk turns to Dom's dating life. Will she tell them she's canoodling with a coworker? So Heffa Joyce done run off one of their cousins / managers. She gonna be why your business fails. Oh, Brian had a point about that OLG sign looking like a funeral home. Fix it, Phyllis. But Brian, honey, the headband, it's not the look. It's not the 90s, and it wasn't that cute then. Philip, you gonna ask him, you came back for me because I made it different? You've been there for 2 days. Philip, how small is your penis because you got too much to prove? Phil, nobody asked you to go get drinks. Nobody wants to get drinks with you. I don't drink with you. I don't drink with your uptight butt either. Why is Philip's boyfriend cute? Philip's boyfriend is actually cute. Philip, you don't deserve him. You're a shithead. You do not have the presence of a leader, Philip. You're just a shithead. Your boyfriend said you were a shithead. I hope he leaves you. Long distance? Long distance, girl, that ain't your man. That's a tourist who needs a place to stay. Boy, boom. So all the staff is out to dinner. Oh, Lord, and we find out Torin and the blonde sissy was clicking and clacking. Who was the top? Okay, Chandrika and Patrick bumped uglies as well. But he didn't know what to do with it. But she done moved on and has been engaged for 2 years? Girl, you better go on and get married. I guess you're waiting for the show to pay for it. Good luck. Okay, Patrick, you can't be upset that they want the restaurant's food to taste the same on Wednesday that it does on Saturday. It does need to have some consistency. Girl, now they talk about how low Kandi paying them. She paying them $12 an hour? Kandi, you ain't shit. But now we got Cousin Winnie trying to get Kim and the aunties on the good foot. I have never said that was my kitchen. Yes, you did, Heifer Joyce. Why are you cussing so? 'Cause she ain't shit. The whole reason Heifer Joyce is cursing is because she calls it her restaurant every time Kandi's not within earshot and sometimes when she is. Girl, Kim was trying to lead a labor strike. But Kandi, you don't pay enough. Girl, it's a senior citizen skirmish. A crone's kerfuffle. An auntie argument. I'm gonna tell the truth. I heard what you said. I'ma tell the truth. Girl, Nora got up out her seat. That wig was shaking and going. Then Kim popped up. I'ma tell, she popped up like Kandi in the E40 video.
I'll throw your butt down like I did before.
Go to church. Girl, Heifer Joyce and her sisters is mean. So sadly, Kim and Nora can't hug it out, but they could still sit down and enjoy a wing. Back at Old Lady Gang. Patrick, you ain't shit. Your co-workers commiserate with you and you gonna run back and tell Kandi they said they wasn't getting paid enough. Well, she know with her cheap ass. I am so mad I miss Dionne Warwick. on Watch What Happens Live. You know I live for all things Dion. Ah. So it's Sissy versus Sissy. Torrin versus Donawana. Torrin, that sweater's cute. I like that. I just like that you're not Don Juan. I mean, that's just, so many people have that going for them. But Don Juan's mad that Torrin just didn't show up one day. Well, if y'all paid people better, shit like this wouldn't happen. He was overworked, underpaid, and was feeling real unappreciated, so he just didn't show up. Like his raise didn't show up. Oh. But now as Torrin's trying to measure the event space and get reacclimated, Phyllis has to interrupt him. Why are you bothering him? I can't stand you. I don't know who I can't stand more, you or where the money reside. You're both bullies. Oh, Torrin said, I don't do well with arrogance, and I agree. Oh, your position depends on me. I'm sorry, did you hire me? I do events for Kandi. Girl, Kandi, you gotta get rid of him. Phyllis, why are you trying to diminish him? Nobody pays you to think you do events. You have to think to do events. Why are you saying this man can't think? See, you talk about, oh, why are you coming to me with this energy? He wasn't coming to you with any kind of energy. He was working. You could have gotten your happy ass up, gone over, introduced yourself with a smile, said, hey, I'm the new manager. I'll be working with you. You're just a shithead. Plain and simple. I agree with you, Torrin. I'm back through Kandi's mouth. You can take that to her. Kandi wanted me back after I walked out. Who has value? This one. So we come back on the next episode. Torrin said, you started this. I could have been doing my work and ignored you, and you could have done the same. Phyllis, why? You really think this style of management works? So Torrin goes upstairs to meet with Kandi. I hope after that confrontation with Phyllis. However, Phyllis goes over to Donawana calling Torrin Big Bird. I'd rather be Big Bird than a big asshole. Phyllis tried to take that attitude to Kandi. He said, oh, he'll have to report to you. She said, you ain't never told me I had to deal with nobody before. You better learn how to get along. Philip, do you think nothing's moving in a positive direction because you're being so negative? Meanwhile, across town, Torrin's helping Patrick fix up his apartment. He said he wants a wall of sex toys. Well, I mean, you is Kandi's cousin, so I can't be surprised. So Diamond late to work, but you know her man the manager, so she can stroll in as she chooses. Chandrika's finally back to work. So Brian, who has to make drinks and he's in recovery, he's like, I don't really need to be doing this. And Diamond finally strolls in. This restaurant look nasty as hell. I ain't eating there. So now Phyllis is gonna get on Brandon for not having Dom there on time and letting everybody kind of run amok. And letting her duties go undone while he's sitting there eating. However, he look, being an asshole ain't my managing style. I don't need to hear this, Phyllis. Okay. So the whole staff, except for Phyllis, is meeting up at Publico for a lie baby and conversation. So Patrick invites everybody to his housewarming. Chandrika don't want to go because June and Patrick are going to be seeing each other again. But child, Patrick done moved on to his cougar. He done said it 800 times. So we have a fun night out, but back at the restaurant, we have an unnecessary meeting followed by an argument over who can sit at the bar and who can't. If employees can't sit there, then it should be all employees. It shouldn't be, well, I'm the manager, I get to do whatever I want. That breeds contempt and contention among the ranks. So, of course, the assistant manager runs to Phyllis and says, Brian was sitting at the bar. And Phyllis don't want to be bothered with Brian. Brandon, you are going to have to be a little more take charge. However, Phyllis is whining that Brandon hasn't found his voice. As much as you want to tell people to shut up, I see why he's quiet. But now Phyllis has Donawana sit down with Brian and Brandon so he can have it out with them. Phyllis said, I've had multiple interactions with you that I do not like. You don't like anybody because you don't like yourself. Ooh. You start with people. Torin did not start with you, but I'm sure you don't like him either. You're just a shithead. Cut from the same cloth as Kenya Moore. The personality that I see right now doesn't fit, so he is suspended. You ain't gonna have no staff with that attitude. Finally, Donawana says, Phyllis, this is your third argument. I can't be your referee. You're becoming the common denominator. So they sent Brian home, and now Phyllis is telling Donawana, I'm extremely upset about what just occurred. Well, you put out all that vinegar and shock shitless you don't get fly to first. Don Juan said, Phyllis, I'm sick of your temper tantrums. I don't give you ultimatums, because otherwise you could have... I actually try to listen to you like you need to listen to them, but you've got your head so far up your ass you can't hear shit. Girl, Phyllis got up and sashayed away. Then got in the car and said Don Juan is part of the problem and they don't respect authority. But you're not respecting Don Juan's authority. You just walked the fuck off. You throwing tantrums like the employees. And he was respecting you, boo. So Patrick goes by his cougar's office who does cool sculpting. And he tells her he's invited his former hussy to his housewarming. Why would you do that? So Patrick wants Torin to do his house, but the girlfriend's like, that's my turf. She getting ready to move in. Oh, Lord, so now Patrick got to disinvite Chandrika. The producer's going to ask him, are you whipped? That's not whipped, that's being considerate. Over with the auntie, Chandrika gonna give them a little water aerobics lesson since she's a swim instructor. Yes, another water girl like myself. So after they get out of the water, Chandrika tells Kandi and the aunties that Brian has been suspended. Ha! Aunt Nora said, I can't stand Philip, and neither can I. Heifer Joyce, I'm not surprised you like him because you just as crotchety. Meanwhile, across town, Torin and Brian meet for ice cream. Girl, this chat is giving what Bad Boys Club wants to give. So we found out that Brian's sister sadly passed at her own hand, and she had substance abuse issues. Now these are gay black men I want to hang out with, because them bitches on Bad Boys Club, ugh. All right, let's get to this week's Kandi and the Gang. This is a cute show. I would like them to keep this going. So Patrick brings his new woman to Old Lady Gang, and Chandrika is telling us how unbothered she is. She is very unbothered. It doesn't bother her at all. She doesn't even think about it. With all the restaurants in Atlanta, they could go somewhere else, but the food here is free, so he'll parade his hussies in front of me. But your man June is secure until July. Definitely until August. So I don't even know why you care, but that's right, you don't care. You don't care. So while they're waiting for their food, Torin pops up and Patrick tells him, Safari gonna go on and decorate the house. And he said, oh good, she doing the party too? Since this was free, let her work it out. He said, no, cause we can't have old work around new work, so we just gonna nix the whole affair. Torian, why are you mad about not decorating a straight man's house? Trust me, you can find something way more fun for your portfolio. Let him and his hussy have it. Dom says Chandrika and Patrick were official, and that's why she's trying to keep things with her boo Brandon under wraps. So it's time for the OLG town hall so the employees can air their grievances. And hopefully Kandi can give these people $5 more an hour. High as gas is, you better. Philip, you have friends? And why your friend look like Apollo? You're the most unlikable one. We don't need to see your personal life. Now, what does it say about Phyllis that Kandi said we can't even have you at the town hall because everybody's afraid of you? That's not good management. Plain and simple. Girl, they ain't put the waiter stands up. The one waitress said the silverware is going missing every 10 minutes. The host said we ain't got an iPad. I got to be using my minutes to call people. What? Y'all ain't got a phone number? This is a real chicken shack. This is a chicken shack. This is some pink teacup ass bullshit. You've got to be kidding me. The host is calling from his private line? So Torrance speaks up on what a shithead Philip is, but of course Don Juan tries to poo-poo it. Well, you just can't meet somebody and be like, oh, well, I'm this. He didn't. Phyllis started with him. So Philip brings up the fact that Chandrika said the food quality be different day to day, which is a valid complaint. They sick of Chandrika, but they can't find nobody else. It's not that you can't find another hostess, it's that you're too cheap. $12 an hour, that's all you're going to get. Then one of the waitresses asks who's in charge of cleaning the menus. Shut up! Because you know it's you, Chandrika, because you know it's you. So now everybody getting on Brandon. Brandon don't work. Brandon's way too busy checking out women to get any work done. And Aunt Bertha said he ignored me and it'll be a cold day in hell before I ever speak to him again. I'll never give you another chance to treat me like a piece of shit, you bitch. However, Torrin pulls Patrick outside and tells him, I thought I was doing the job and now I was just fired unceremoniously. And he says, yeah, and I won't be having a house party either because, my girl's not comfortable. And Torrin says, well, it's your house. So he calls and asks for permission and she says, I talked to you about this already. I'm sorry. This is not healthy. You need to move on. So Patrick comes home and his girl already in his bed? I thought you lived with Melvin, not your woman. Girl, you don't even want Torrin to show up at the housewarming party. Honey, if you scared of a sissy, this'll never work. Meanwhile, across town, Brian and the host make some soul food egg rolls and get to gabbing about management and their lack of intelligence. He ain't saying they stupid. They just lack intelligence. Oh, he says so we can't drink on the job, but the manager can fuck the bartender. I said it. So back at the restaurant, Donna wanna pull Kandi and Todd aside because he overheard Brandon on the phone with Chandrika. And Chandrika was telling him every time he said something at the meeting, Donna wanna shut him down. She said Kandi and Todd don't give a fuck. But they literally had a whole meeting so y'all could air your grievances. I mean, I don't know, honey. But it looks like you're getting fired. Kandi said, well, we'll have to have a real heart-to-heart. I think it's time for her to get a new job. But later that night, it's Brandon's birthday. Oh, but Dom gonna pop up at his birthday party and meet the mama with Torrin in tow. So now Torrin's having his little conversation with Safari and he's saying, it was the communication between he and I ain't got nothing against you, boo. But you do booties, I do bedrooms. But okay, Martha wannabe Stewart. Torrin says, so are we having a housewarming? That's why I'm here. I'm gonna fill it out and then we can talk about it. Girl, it ain't your house. He can have a housewarming and just not invite you since you're so uncomfortable. How about that? And the episode ends with Brandon telling his parents how much he likes Dom and Kandi and Todd confronting Chandrika and asking her, you really want to work here, girl? Well, I'm gonna see you next week for the shit.